me, where there's no guitars, there's no clothes, I'm out there with a a tin can and a crank, right? Wow, look at me, I'm a legend in my own garage, right? And you get kids, man. So that's the only advice I could give is just write something or do something that's going to have some sort of an impact, and like you said, and never lose respect for the people that paid money to come see you play.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean you have to marry them. Or anything like that. It's just that you have a little bit.
They're putting you where you are, and
I mean, I've seen some people around that just totally disrespected their own audience so bad. It was like, I find it like actual playing constitutes, no matter how good or bad I am at it, constitutes about maybe 20% of the game that I'm in. Really, I mean, it's electronic engineering, it's accounting. It's a lot of times. I'll be honest, right lately, especially right lately. It's psychiatry, and then legal. Being a lawyer. I was like, oh great, contract enforcement right lately, so to speak of. But it's a lot of different things that culminate all in marketing is very important. You got to market your product, or nobody's going to know what it is.
It's not going to be known.
Right.
You go, well, I don't know what I mean, so many times I've heard, I don't know what we're doing wrong. Well, have you told anybody you're playing?
I know, right? It's kind of, and flyers.
Seems like Guitar 101, go out and mention gig. But, it's funny because I do the Craigslist bit of the show, and, there was an ad on there this past week. I don't remember if I saved it, so we might see it later. But there was a little thing that somebody wrote something about, I don't know word for word, but it was something along the way of, a brief ad that said, I have the best band name, and then, somewhere along the way the guy was, selling it to the highest bidder. And I'm like, okay, here's the catch. We don't know if it's good until you tell us, but you won't tell us until you get paid.
Are you serious about that?
It's up there. Somebody replied to it. They put a little RE and posted their own thing and said, besides going off on how idiotic the person is, they said, incidentally, it's more than just a band name. You could have very well the best band name ever, but so what?
Right.
And I was like, that was a very intelligent comeback, because really, even though the premise of I'll sell you this band name because I'm a boy genius is incredibly stupid and naive, it's still not. Yeah. It's hardly the total package. It's that much of it.
I know it is. I mean, but then again, hey, look, you're dealing with Craigslist too. Right. So a lot of people, they do that to get attention. I've noticed that they've had a lot of really nasty.
I think some people are pranksters too, and you can't take it seriously. You see people that they start fights on there, and it's
you got really nasty threads, really nasty threads running about nothing, and it was like, it used to be just one town, and everybody was like, well, this area, no, it's not. I've been everywhere. I've been to Virginia. I've been up in New York, and it's there too. They bitch no matter what city you're in.
I saw an amp once. It was 15-watt speaker. I think it was like a 60, maybe a 50-watt tube, and Hi-Hat was the company. I mean, just totally obscure in my
that's the weird
brain.
one.
I said, who's Hi-Hat? The thing had a volume knob and a tone knob. Nothing else on it. It was just that. And
really?
The tone was brilliant.
Really?
Because it didn't have anything in it. It was just a simple little thing.
Really?
So it was so pure that anything you ran in there, you take your Boss Overdrive or you take your whatever, and you add it to it, and it was perfect. It was the best combination because you had nothing else to mess with. You didn't even, I mean, with the tone knob, if you said to yourself, I like a certain tone, you break out your Boss EQ. You didn't worry about, is the amp at the right.
It's a good time right now. I mean, you can actually be your own record producer.
Yeah.
Imagine that, and you don't have to worry about $75, $85 an hour for retakes and stuff.
Yep. And I mean, it's not even like it works well enough. It really does.
It does.
I'm a huge Apple aficionado. I love Apple. I love, and GarageBand has been something that I've been using for years now. It's actually been years. And I've gone through like every version of GarageBand. I got the very first one, and I went through every one thereafter. I have the newest one now, and they're getting better and better. And it's funny because a lot of people still say, "Well, it doesn't do this and it doesn't do that." Look, I came from the school of like sitting in my buddy's living room with a 4-track tape.
Oh man, the old Tascams.
It was a total. I mean, and that in itself was cool. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, really, everything that GarageBand has is well past what that thing did.
I know, right?
So there's nothing wrong with it at all. It works fantastic.
And GarageBand doesn't GarageBand have like onboard effects as well too?
It does. The newest thing now, it's still similar to just sort of the presets, but the new thing that they've done is the presentation of it. It used to be just click this menu, click this, get that. Now they actually have on-screen amplifiers and effects pedals, and you can like actually with the mouse turn your knob, and it's more visual.
What about VST, man? Can you do VST plugins with Apple?
Very
like if I wanted to go out and get Amplitude or whatever, and they've got that $300 program, you know, where you can get all the vintage sounds.
Their new operating system is so just driven, and it's just so stocked with drivers and such that I mean it really does everything.
Right.
When I got this thing, came with a disc for Windows and Mac and whatever.
Right.
I didn't have to run the disc. I plugged it in, and GarageBand said, "Oh, you have a Digitech," and I went, "Holy crap!"
So it already knew.
It knew. It set it up, and I was ready to play.
Well, I didn't have that much luck with Cubase.
Cubase, you have to set it up, install, do this, tweak.
Well, it was even worse. I mean, I bought Easy Drummer. Yeah, I bought Easy Drummer, so I was going to lay down some demo stuff for a project I was messing with, and I went and got the Easy Drummer, man, and now all of a sudden you can't do it.
Yeah.
And not only that, the program itself, the program itself, what the problem was is that it wasn't a standalone program.
Yeah.
In other words, I couldn't take my drum tracks, create them, and then save them as a file and then bring them in later. In any format. And I was just like, man, I want my money back. You know, I was disappointed with it, so I'm going to go back out there, and hopefully they'll get that bug out of it, but you know, right now it was not compatible. It was compatible with Pro Tools and Sonar and another one, but I think it was with GarageBand. But with Cubase, for some reason, the version I was running,
I used Cubase before I got my first Apple, and it's because my buddy got it, and he said, "Oh, you gotta try Cubase," and he was taking a class, so I knew I could go to him for like tips.
Right.
So I tried it out. It just drove me nuts. I mean,
Is that what's wrong with me?
Wanted to plug it in.
Is that what's wrong with me?
Too much recording on Cubase. I seriously, I just wanted to plug in, play, record, and do it, and it was just driving me insane, and I just, I said, I need this to be a simple process. And the beauty of the simple process is that it's there now with that type of software. There was actually a thing on maybe a year ago or so on an Apple website. They had, now I'm going to get shot because I forgot the kid's name, but the lead singer from Fall Out Boy.
Oh man, what was his name? He married that Simpson girl or whatever, or who is it? Who is he? Whatever. I know what you're talking about.
Patrick.
Don't ask me.
Or something. I his name. But the whole article was that whether he's at home, whether he's on the road, wherever he is, he gets an idea. He pulls out his laptop, he opens it up, he plugs his guitar right in, and he just starts recording. He just starts putting his idea down, and 90% of his demo is usually pretty much through GarageBand.
That's blasphemy.
It's just
that's blasphemy.
Straight up there.
I mean, it's scary, isn't it?
It works fine. He goes in, he puts it through. The studio goes, "This is great. Let's lay it down for real."
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, for the rough copy, it's there.
For the demo, for demo purposes, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
One of the trickiest ones is he did a hammer-on and he does pull-offs, and so whereas you got the Gilbert style. Van Halen would do the See what I'm saying? He would alternate between hammering on and actually picking to get